What's up, everybody? I know I gotta order more bucket hats. I gave away every single one that I had already. I gotta order more. I'm gonna order some beanies too. It's winter time. Gotta order some of the beanies. Quick question. So as you see the bluish candle without the red line, does that mean this isn't valid? Yeah, if there's no that blue candle with no red line, that means there's no setup there at all. That's just a regular blue candle that appears, the regular bullish candle that appeared, no setup. And then you see on that sell signal, if anyone took that sell signal, I did take it, and I took the buy. I took this opening retest of this level and hit my payouts for the two FFF accounts, one on the short, one on the long. These two are ready to go for payout right here. Two payouts incoming from FFF. Real quick base hits. Wait, I put the same account twice. Hold on, let me get the other one, the correct one. 232. Where's the other one? Wait, did I hit the same amount on both of them? No way. Would that be wild if I did? No. Close the wrong tab. Hold on. I gotta go check that out now. 232 and then this one. What? No way. I hit the exact same amount on both without even realizing it. 232.80. Look at this. I'm gonna, dude, that's bonkers. So this one's 23 and this one's 83. And I did not copy trade. I've never done this before. I need to go buy lottery tickets. So that was correct. I hit the exact same amount on both accounts on two separate trades. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute. I posted the same account twice. And then I had to go in and check 232.80 on the dot. I do not copy trade. That is very interesting. I want to see what the report looks on these. Oh no, because it's still matching up the report from earlier today. That is very wild. I didn't realize. I was looking at it like, no way I made the same amount on both these accounts. Well, I made one on this short here. I made one on that long here, on this little bounce off that level. That's what I played. Ooh, look at this. Is this 7 o'clock volume? Yep, 7 o'clock volume coming in. Coming in hot. Look at that quick rejection off this level up here. All right, bad buy signal. No real room. Immediate rejection. Got to let that 7 o'clock volume kick in. Oh yeah, my chart is not up. I was setting everything up. There we go. So these were my two trades. So I caught the short up here, from up here, caught that move up to right here, and then I caught this bounce right here. Played this little curl up from that level that was holding, that was attached to a blue candle, A++ setup blue candle on the 2 minute. That level held, and then I played this little push up. Those were my two trades tonight so far on those two accounts, and that was it. Look at that. That level held, pushed itself right back up. So we're stuck in between here. 2 minute wants to push up. Looks like the 2 minutes trying to cross up, but it needs to break that 4,007. Needs to break that 4,007. I want to say this whole 4,007 up to 4,008.9. If it wants to crash through that to keep pushing up and doesn't want to, reject it again. Nice hard rejection. And on the downside, it needs to break that 402, then 399. All right. We are on Gold Schwab. We are trading gold. Check your audio output under settings, voice, and video. Yep. Can't hear you. So hopefully, yeah, I think everyone else should be able to hear me. Did you enter short after 2 minute level was created? On up here, I entered the short on the 1 minute right here. When I was watching my 2 minute was already curling down, right? I saw the 2 minute already curling down. The 1 minute was already gave me the signal. And this was just low risk. As long as it stayed below 408.6, that's what I was looking at. And my 2 minute was lining up with that push down. You had this 2 minute level up top, right? Did it really make it all the way? Yeah, these wicks over here. So I kind of liked that short based off these, the 1 and the 2 lining up here, gave that push down. Right now it's stuck in between these pocket right here. All right. So I watched the 1 and the 2 with gold. Yeah. I like to watch the 1 and the 2 with gold. Just like with NQ, right? With NQ, I like to watch the 1 and the 5. So this is what my NQ would look like right here. NQ got the 5 minute and the 1 minute. 1 minute here, 5 minute here. And I look for the exact same things, right? Look for the exact same setups around levels. Obviously, all-time highs today. So it was making new all-time highs and kept pushing up. You have this 5 minute range up here. All right. So there's various ways to look for quantum setups, right? NQ today was pure range play. There was no clean A++ setup with the way that you were at all-time highs. So you had 5 minute ranges all over the place, like your current 5 minute range, right? This is how we do 5 minute. This is how we do ranges with quantum. You want the blues and the purples to appear side by side in the same vicinity of price. So your purple will be right here. That's your bearish candle. So you draw the top wick. I count wicks. And your bullish candle, the bottom of the lowest that has not been broken. And that's going to be your bullish support zone right here. So this is your 5 minute range, which is currently breaking out of, right? And your 1 minute range, you have a couple here to look at. You have this little guy over here, which you had your back and forth blues and purples, right? You had that purple one here, and then you had your blue one here, right? This obviously just cracked right through it. Big push up. no real play after that. Did come down and retest the range here, but created a new one. Created that purple candle up here. And you could leave this here to get your wide range, or you could tighten it up. You have a level below, and you could just play these two right here, right? And then you see the little break, little failed push, went right back into it, then gave another push. And guess what it did? Created a new little one right here, right? New little one right here, and look what happened, right? When it broke the blue candle and gave a little test to come back down here. But there's no room there. There's no room. So there's no real trades. From 96, it came down to 91. 5 points. I'm not going to go after that. It's just going from one little range to another little range. And here's what your wide range would look like at this point. That's your wide range right here. And look what happened, right? Now it finally broke through, gave you that big spike up, and is making the push towards this level up here, right? On this is your 1 minute range, that wide range. Now it's coming back to, guess what? Potentially retest this little range, this uptrend. And if it holds above it, right? If it wicks down, it could wick down, it could wick and hold here or that level right below. One of the two areas. Let's see what it does here. Big purple coming in. So that's going to potentially form a new range, right? Still currently close to all-time highs. 5 minute failed to hold, right? Tippy tip of a 5 minute candle. And this is what I use. This is why I do multi-time frame. Because you have your 5 minute candle that barely broke through here with the tippy tip, and I don't count the tip. Remember, we don't do the tip game here. Tip game doesn't work well, right? We broke right back in. Look what it's doing, right? Big purple candle. I'm betting this. There it is already. That it's gonna bounce back up. It's gonna retrace some of this candle if it holds this 995 level right here. If it breaks the 995 level, we're just gonna test the bottom side of this range potentially. But let's see how much of this purple candle gets retraced, because these big boys get retraced. It's popping right back up. Right, this is how I avoid chop. I don't like playing tight ranges and chop on NQ. When let's see what this is, 98, 88. This is a 10-point range right here. Looks big. Candles are about less than 5 points. This is a 5-point candle. So there's not a whole lot of sway with NQ at the moment. It's low volume, all-time highs. Not feeling super confident. Needs to hold below this 26,125. Holds below there, former level, and guess what it could do, right? It could just bounce now between this level and this level. Now, if it continues to hold, right, confirms the break out of this old range, then you might see a continuation up if it can also break that purple candle. So that's how you look and identify quantum ranges. This is quantum range. You go from one little range, you form another range, and as long as you have blue candles that have not been broken, those blue candles hold, right? Same thing with something like this, right? You see this blue candle right here? No candle closure below. You can use this as a nice little structure point. Right, you have that range over here. This could be a nice little blue structure point you could look out for if it does come back down. You could do the same thing with purple candles on the upside, right? And I use these candles to give me nice little areas to look out for. That's up to you guys if you want to use it that way. So far, bounced off once, pushing back down. Now, if this level locks in here, if this candle closes down here, this is going to lock in this level right here at 0125, and then you're going to have this back and forth between these two levels. Okay, there it is. All right, now you see 260150, 25,995. This is your little point, this little six and a half point little pocket you have now in NQ. No room really. It's barely moving. This will be just quick scalps, 5 points per candle. It's not doing much. I wouldn't be watching this paint dry if I were trading NQ. I would be trading gold. Gold moves much more fluidly. Right, but you're seeing it still holding that top side of that old range break. So one of two things I'm waiting for. Either re-break 0150, then break that purple to push up, or I want to see a blue candle appear somewhere so I can have a new range to draw. But right now, it's barely moving. It's not doing anything. It's stuck in between here. No point in watching this. 5 minute, still within its range as well. We're watching paint dry here. Let's go to gold. Now look what it's doing. It's pushing itself back up over that level right now. Let's look at what gold's doing. And look at gold. Gold is being gold. Whoops. All right, here we go with gold. Held this 2 minute level. All right, and here's where I would use the EMAs. EMA curled up here. As soon as I saw this curl up here, I would begin entry right here. And my stop loss would be this green candle that is in charge of that scoop up, right? This candle's holding up the scoop up. So you could do two areas for stop loss on a curl play. If you're playing the EMAs, right? The action lines would be either below this level, a candle closure below the level, or you could pick that candle that broke back inside below here. And you would have gotten a nice little couple dollar push up, almost $3 on that. Buy signal triggered. That's what I'm expecting if I'm looking at my EMAs curling up. holding on to that level like I would expect it to if it's a strong level. These are the lowest risk entries that you will find. Anytime you wait for these to react around a level, right? Whether it's the quantum levels, if you're using quantum by itself, or if you have something like orb, or if you have something like fibs, something that is solid, that repeats itself over and over and over again as an area that is respected. That's what you want to look for. Orb is one of those things that holds very well. So if I have an orb level and I'm watching, it's hitting the top side of orb, and I'm seeing my action lines start to curl resist that top side of orb, you believe I'm going to try to scalp a little bit of a shorty short there with a break, stop loss, being a break above the orb. Very simple, right? Do they always play out? No, because sometimes they will break outside the orb. You'll see a 3-bar setup or something, and it might play the opposite way. But either way, it's a low risk play that I'm willing to test, right? No strategy is 100%. Anyone that claims to have a strategy that is 100%, turn around and run, because they are lying to you and just trying to steal your money, right? That's not what we're about. So here currently, what I'm looking at now, right, I want to see this 2 minute, right, the 2 minute lines continue to curl up as well, right? If I just scalp this 1 minute right here, I'm not going to hold on any longer until I see this 2 minute start to pull up. I want to see this close above 016. So if you're looking at your 2 minute here, and I do the same thing with the 5 minute, when I'm reading things in Power Hour, where I want to see this hold and close above here and there, right? What does it need to do to pull the lines up, right? It needs to start closing above that top action line, this 4017. So we could potentially see, right? And each time it gets closer, now it's 4015. It needs to pull up to form that potential level. That's what I want to see if I'm holding on to a runner, right? And then boom, see, look at that. This is where I'm careful, right? Caught this here, and then I would have gotten trailed out on my runner. I don't hold on too long. This is where I would have caught this bounce, and that was it. This is why I scalp. I'm not going to aim to try to test this level here, because you're downtrending. You still have a lot to potentially flip the other way, which we just got to see. What time is it? 7:14. Now currently, right now it's flipping the other way. If this closes below here, we're going to see a sell signal pop up. Big purple candle. So we want to be cautious here. This is going to get retraced some. It's going to retest some here around 4,000. And this is where I wait. Bigger candles, be cautious. You're going to see something like this one right here, right? Almost similar, except the blue candle is separate. Oh, it's just going. Hey, it's just melting, and that's okay to watch it just melt too. Broke through that level, melting down. There's the closure. Right now, it needs to hold below this 3992, 3998.9. Needs to hold above here, and this will flip all this. But remember, big purple, it's gonna get retraced. Here's the retracement happening right here. This is way too risky for me to even enter a play on this. I don't know how much it's gonna retrace. There it goes. Look at that. It's like clockwork. These big candles, avoid them. They get retraced at a high rate. We saw this coming. Yes, I record these, but the problem with when I record them, right, it's up to the team to decide whether we're going to post it up. We posted one. I'm recording this so that we're going to post more, maybe twice a month, 3 a month. I'm going to try to post up. So we have as up-to-date data as we can, so you guys can go back and watch them. So we do record these. Just how often they're posted is the question right now. That is, we're not sure. But look at that. Retraced halfway. Now it's going to see what it's going to do here. EMAs are tightening up. Looks like it closed above that level, right? It broke that level. And here is another way to look at this now. This is what I do when I'm reading levels during MOC or I'm stuck in between, right? This basically, the 4,000 is the psychological level for gold at the moment. But this level here at 399.1 that just got broken just by like this little tippy tip here, this is the area that you want to see it either hold above or hold below for another push, either down or to come back and push up. So you have to wait for the next candle, and it's currently holding on to the uptrend. This is where I use the cloud, right? The cloud is another part of quantum I like to use. If I am in the middle of nowhere, what am I going to look for? It's currently holding the uptrend on the 2 minute, but barely. 1 wick here, 2 wicks here. This closes and holds below this 998. That breaks the downtrend on the 2 minute. Still wicking up. Now it's flipping that cross that was here before. It's flipping it up. If it continues to hold above it, good chance it's going to try to push itself back up a little more. Again, we're in the middle. I would like it to be closer to this level below for a potential entry point. I'm not looking at any entry points in the middle of levels right here. Is there a chance that it could pop up from here? Yes, there is. Am I going to take it? Probably not, because I want there to be something more structured, right? This is just fun to watch it. Look, there it goes. See, it's just fun to watch. Look at that big blue candle. It's just fun to watch sometimes. Big blue candle back up here, right? Here's your 2 minute pulling up. Look at that. See how it reclaimed and held that 399.8 where it was here, that level before, and then it popped itself back up. Now testing this. Now this is a big blue. Some of it's going to potentially get retraced, right? We have this level here, potential level forming at the 2 minute at 4001.4. So your gold, if I at the moment with gold, I would just be looking at the levels. I would not be looking at the ranges because your range is wide as hell. Like all the way up here, this purple, right, did not get broken. And then your current bottom side blue, right? That's a very wide range. And even if you break this, you still have to break through this. So I want there to be space. You want there to be space. All right, there's your 2 minute. It's gonna close in a minute or so. Needs to hold above this 05. Continues to hold this 05. You may see a little more push up to this 063, but it's still very tight around here. No solid trade entries, no nothing. I don't see anything clean for me to even try to take. If it goes, it goes, and that's perfectly fine. I want there to be clean EMA reading, something I can use to lean on, not like in the middle here. And it's just cool to still see it play out, right? You see where it reclaimed that level, pushed up, there it goes. And that's okay, right? Nice little setup there. I didn't take it. 2 minute pulled up and locked in here, went up there. I just wanted more space. It ripped right through that level, ripping right through here. Look where it's wicking right now, right? This is the pocket. And if I were to say, if I was degen, right? If I was super degen and I was like, let me just test it just to see, I'd be trailing really close and I'd probably get wicked out on that pullback right here. Because at this point, I'm not sure if this is going to hold or if it's going to rip right through. 2 minute uptrend held beautifully, right? Here's where you use the cloud. Look at that. Wick, 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 right? And this in itself, you could use that as a confluence if you like. You could. There's nothing wrong with, if I don't have any levels too nearby, this could be your uptrend. As long as that uptrend holds, you'll be okay. Again, I don't play those a whole lot. Very rarely do I play something like this without a level closer. The level was a little further down, but that's what it was. All right. Yeah, and it's a major news week. You're right, Caleb. It's a major news week. So we're going to see FOMC weeks. You tend to see the weirdest price action usually leading up to Wednesday. And if let's say the government was actually open, it might be more volatile than what it is. It hasn't been that volatile like it normally would be, in my opinion. Yeah, Sam, the A++ setups on gold are clean when they have those confluences lined up, right? Like this buy signal here, obviously we went over why not to take it, right? Too close to that level, right? Then this big purple candle got retraced, then it rejected up here. And look at that thing ripping right through levels right now. That's ripping right through all these. That's actually the 2 minute level just rip right through it. And that's okay. It's okay to miss them. Like I see these sometimes and I'm like, oh, cool. It did what normally it would do, pushing through 2 minute, right? But I just didn't like it. I'm okay not taking trades. You have to be okay not taking trades too. Don't fall in with the FOMO. All right, I'm going to start reading some questions about these. All right, let's go back up. All right. So just not QS today. What are the TP targets for gold? 10 and 15 ticks. How many micros do you see? So Nick, for gold, it varies. Usually I like to play with 3 to 4 micros. I've gone to 5. When I have a good buffer and the risk is low, I'll go to 6, but super rarely. I like 4. I like 3 and 4 with gold personally. With the 50Ks and the 25Ks, they add up really, really fast, especially when you catch a really good move. With the 1 minute crossovers, I've been aiming for 1.5 and 2. If there's space, 1 and 1.5 is very safe as well. You could easily do the 10 and 15 ticks. I've been going for 15 to 20. When I have the stack levels, I've been going for 20 and 30 ticks on gold. When you have these stack levels, when you have the 1 minute and 2 minute line up, you'll easily get 20 to 30 ticks. And then my runner collects the rest. I like to leave 2 runners at the end. So what I do when I'm in with 4 micros, I will let one go at, let's say I'm doing the 1 minute. I'm letting one go at 15 ticks, the next one at 20. And then my last 2 runners, if I'm in with 4, I'm going to leave one trailing by 1 and the last one trailing from entry. And then I'll let it go wherever it wants to go. And if it pulls back and takes me out, I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's been very solid, and sometimes it rips, right? This one just ripped through that 2 minute level. That 2 minute level formed, never really pulled back at all, just left the building. Nice from down here, from that 400 pull up, it's up $9. That's 90 ticks on gold, which would be really good money. So Kathy, when I entered short, I think you were asking about this short right here. Was that 642? The short that I took, the 642. So I entered up here on this 1 minute candle. I actually entered around 407, somewhere down here. Stop loss was right above there. And then I just let it roll down. Once that 2 minute crossed over, once I saw it cross, locked in here, pushed down, I collected, let my runner run, and then got trailed out. All right. And one thing I want to make clear, guys, right? It's not just about the buy and sell signals. They are clean with gold, right? But you could, right, if you had confluences, like I said, I was explaining what was going on down here. If it reclaimed that little level that got broken, right, closed above it, right? You could enter just a 2-minute crossover. We could enter the creation of a 2-minute level as long as the risk is low enough for you. You still play cautiously because, again, right, not all the time do they launch up like that when there are other levels around. There was a chance that it could have resisted. You would have caught a still nice scalp, but there's a chance that it could have been some resistance at around those levels that you don't want to hold on to and make a green trade turn red. Nice, Ronog. You took that. You took the short from 4007 before it popped up. Just got QS today. What are the TP targets? So hopefully that helps a little bit, Nick. The TPs vary to you, right? I share my TPs. My TPs are not secret. From NQ, right, I do 5 and 10. I do 5 and 10 routine. So that first TP is never my main TP. That first TP is for anxiety relief. It makes my trade less stressful because all of a sudden the loss, right? I was already accepting the L. Anytime I enter a trade, I'm immediately accepting the L, right? That's that first thing. I'm okay taking the L. If it loses, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm going to look at the risk factors and everything. I'm like, okay, I like this. I'm still going to enter it, even if it loses. That first TP makes that loss even smaller. So I'll take that. Then the second TP is the main TP. And then after that, the runner collects extra. Whatever it wants to give me, that runner will collect anything else it wants to give me. If it doesn't give me anything else, I'm fine with it. Now move on. Wait for the next one. Right? So it's everything is to your personal liking, right? You can use something like ATR, the average true range, right? The average true range gives you an idea of what the market's doing. I actually think I have it. Do I have it? Nope. All right, let me add it, right? The ATR, average true range, right? And then here, right now, gold is a 2.2. So every candle is averaging about 22 ticks. You can aim for half of that. You can aim for the whole thing. It's up to you, right? But again, when you're entering a play, your stop losses are set to a certain area. And I'll go over the range stop losses, how I play those in a little bit. But if you're playing a bullish candle hold, your bullish candle could be your stop loss, right? But something this big, that's a 50 tick stop loss. I don't like that, right? Now you have a level here. Instead, you could use that level as your stop loss. If it breaks below that level, right? Now that's a much better stop loss. That's a 20 tick stop loss. If you're in with just a couple micros, that's not going to hurt too bad, right? That's what I'm gauging. That's what I'm gauging. If it breaks this level, plays dead. I'm not going to hold it all the way down here. There's no point. If it breaks that level, one of two things are going to happen. It's going to either range or it's going to go the opposite way, right? Could start testing that whole blue candle, or it could form a range where you see a blue and a purple back to back. Those are those two things that can happen. The more you start narrating these setups, right? Everything I go over, you can find on YouTube. I'm going to go over these on repeat. Every session, I repeat the same setups over and over and over again because nothing changes. And the more you start seeing it, you're like, okay, if I see this happen here and this closes above here, I should see the retest and the push up. And then you start seeing it over and over and over again. You're like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. And this is what I'm doing when I'm narrating in Power Hour. I'm narrating the same setups over and over and over again. Like I'm looking where my EMAs, this needs to start close to pull the EMAs down here. This needs to start closing below 407. Right? I wanted to see it close below 407. And on the 2-minute, same thing, right? I need to see it start closing below 405 if I want to see it pull below. But look how wide they are, right? And where are we? We're in the middle of two levels. I want to see it pull up here. I want to see it pull up here, or even better yet, you have a stack level up here. I want to see it pull up here, right? One of these two areas is where I'm kind of gauging a potential little rejection scalp if I can see an opportunity present itself. Not in the middle. I don't like in the middle. All right. Schwab, for Asia, I highly recommend gold. I highly recommend gold. It gives a lot less chop than NQ does. Let's take a look at what NQ's been doing, right? And again, back test. Oh, look, NQ is actually pushing up. That's a wild wick right here. Look at that wick through that level. Couldn't break it first. Couldn't break it again. Then kind of did here. No, these two did kind of break it. This 5-minute candle has about 1 minute left. 1 minute left. You're going to have a new bullish level form below it. And we may see some more push up. But again, new all-time highs. You have to be cautious here. New all-time highs. This is discovery zone. We don't have anything to look for up here. Unless you have some solid fibs you use that give you some really good indication of levels to look out for. But look at that, right? There's your, and look, you can already see it, right? Look at the 5-minute here. Look at the 5-minute play. This is a picture perfect range play, right? This is what I would go over when I explain people how to play range breaks with quantum. All right. You had two candles that broke. The first one broke, rejected, no entry. Second one broke, even if it's the tip. I'm not a fan of these. the second one held, right? I wouldn't make an entry once it ripped up. This second one pulled down. This point, I might make an entry here, and my stop loss would be one of two, either this candle right here or this candle right here. One of these two, whichever one I want to risk the most with, right? So in this, if your entry was 04, your risk would have been just below 26,000. Not bad. Or you could have risked it down here, right below 99.25, which barely added anything, right? This was the candle that broke and it kept holding. You would have made an entry down here, stop loss either below here or here, and boom. That's just a typical break play. That's how you would play any type of range break play, right? Here's where it happened again, right? Broke, no retest, didn't go. Came back down. There's your retest. You could either enter any of these two. Your stop loss could be this candle right here at that point, or it could be below this level, right? And you could choose these little areas if you want to try to play a retest of a break of range that led to that push up. It's very simple. These setups are super duper simple, right? Super duper simple. Let's look at this one over here. There are days where it's pure range, right? We have that blue, or we already had a blue there. Already have that marked up, right? Here's your break. No retest. It just left. No entry at that point, right? Unless you were ballsy and you were making an entry right as soon as it closed, and your stop loss would be right below that candle that closed. I don't like that. I like to wait for the retest. Let's go look for another one. Delete some of these blue lines on this 1 minute. This one didn't give a retest. I like 4 retests. This one's not the best one. This one did technically get broken, but you still can kind of see it on this. This one got broken over here. Retest failed, obviously. And then you see your break, your retest, your push. Comes back to retest that same little area, and then you just have your A++ setup break outside, right? This right here, this one, big purple candle. So you know, this is the common thing, right? You see a big purple candle, you know it's going to get retraced. Right, I think this is the one that we just went over a little bit on one that formed earlier. Let's look for some more. All right, here's another one. There's your break. There's your little retest. Didn't fully tap. Entry anywhere around here. Stop loss above here. There's your pull down. Right, look what it does when it does it the opposite way. Right, the opposite way. Broke, retest, pushed up. Right, you had another little purple candle that you could use as little guide points to, where there could potentially be a little bit of resistance, but once it broke, it ripped right through. Right, it already broke one bearish, broke another one here. Right, little break, little push back up, and then broke the other one. Big push up, then formed a new range. These are at the simplest setups you can get. You're not looking at every candle. You're only looking at your blues and purples that appear back to back. This is all you're looking at. That's it, right? That's not a bearish break. That's a bullish, candle right here. I'm not going to enter a short on that, or not even look for one. Broke back up. Here's your break. No real retest. Gave you a retest, gave you a push, re-entered. Did this little push up, no real retest, nothing here. Gave you a breakdown here, a couple retests to push down to this level, and this was it, right? This was just all these little chop zones. But you formed new barriers if you could widen them up from this point, from here to here, right? And then you have this guy right here, right? You could make him as tight as you want. You could, if you want, only play these ones and start ignoring the rest, right? You could only play these and try to scalp a little bit off of them. But they are all over the place. Today, tons of range. Today it would go from one range to another range, back to the old range, to another range. This is what you see a lot during all-time highs. All-time highs is range central. Range central. Zoom out. Look at this. Look at this bar coding all over the place. Just little ranges, push up, little range, push down, little range, push up, little range, push up, new range, another. It's just discovery mode, right? This was the opening. Look at the opening. Right. I don't know if anybody was reading the opening when I was saying, right, where was the range? 948. Right. Look right here. This is 948. This candle right here. That was the 48. And then below was 14. Right. Below 14. Next would have been 795. And look where this broke and jumped off 796. By $1, it missed this level down here. Pushed itself back in, re-entered the range, and then started playing the opposite way. Broke once, retest failed, broke again. Retest held. I would have entered this. Stop loss below here. Almost would have stopped you out here. Then launched its way up. Then later on, came right back. But what did it do here? It formed another range, right? Formed another one right here. Oh, look. Break of range. Retest. Big stop loss on this guy because it's all the way up here, right? Actually, it's not that big. It's almost roughly 15 points. Gave you that pull down to this level here, right? Would I play this? Probably not 5-minute level. Pretty strong level, but it did do the reaction where it pulled up, held that level, and then launched its way up. And then guess what? What else you see here? Another little range area. Look at that. That one just exploded through it. Okay. So there are several setups all over the place for range. if that's all you want to play. You play them the same way. They do not change. I like the break and retest. I love the break and retest. Stop losses are the same. The candle that led the break is the candle that I would use for the stop loss, right? This broke through. There's a little retest. Boom, stopped out. Here's a breakdown the opposite way. There's an entry. There's your stop loss. This play played, right? If I lost this one, strike one. This one made up for the loss and then some if I trailed the way I normally trail. Here's another one. You can do these all day. Break, little retest, little push up, little push down, push up. Broke back in, right? Broke back in. Now you have another purple up here, so you could widen that up now. Little tippy tip break. I don't like that. Gave a push down, push back in. Now you have another little pocket one. There's your break. No real retest. Came to retest it here with the new range, rejected. And this was the one that played out that we just went over. So you see these all over the place, okay? So hopefully these range plays make sense to you guys, right? They're not all 100% win rate. You still have to be cautious. Set your stop losses. Don't fluctuate your sizing. Keep your sizing the same to what you're risking. If you're risking 15 points, keep your size down to around 3 micros. This is how I do it. If I'm risking 8 points or less, then I may go in 5, 4, maybe 6 on my 50Ks, right? If the risk is lower, I go heavier. If the risk is higher, I go lighter. And I follow that routine throughout the whole process. All right, hopefully that makes that a little clear for y'all. So seam of the double lines is just when your two EMAs are curling up in the same direction. This is literally all you're looking for, is your two action lines. I keep saying EMAs, but they're more action lines, are curling up in the same direction. So this right here, they weren't really going in the same direction. So I wouldn't have personally taken this based on what I saw here and here, because the 1 minute is trying to push down, while the 5 minute on NQ is trying to push up. Again, all-time highs. You're going to see weirdness up here. You're going to see very, very weird price action at this point, right? Now formed a level up here that's holding, right? You got a wick at 26,014.50. So that's currently holding. But until this 5 minute starts pulling down and breaks this 26,008, there's nothing here for a short. So I would wait for my 1 and the 5 to line up to go the same direction. Let's go to gold, because like I said, with Asia, gold flows a lot smoother, right? Look right here. Oh, look, gold made it to that area where I was talking about right here, right? Now all it needs to do is hold below the 419. We should see some pull down. And if this can continue to pull down and break back below 415 and pull those 2 minutes with it, that'd be great. The only issue right now that I would have with this is how separate these two are. But here we go, right? Here's your curling, right? If you entered at 18, stop loss could have been up here at 19. I wouldn't have it all the way at 19.8 just yet. And I would have scalped a little pull down for about 20. That was like what, $2? 20 ticks? The entry point would have been at this curl up here at 17.7. You got 20 ticks off of that, right? Super fast. And now if it continues to hold below this level, and then your 2 minute continues to curl and get closer, right? The 2 minute's still not curling. So it's not ready. It's angling straight. See, look at that. See, I knew it. See, it's not ready, right? This would have been your quick little scalp down. That's it. Very fast. But I want it closer to the levels. So now it's pushing up. And I want to see here, both of these action lines to start flattening out. Now, the fact that this is trying to point up now, the 1 minute's trying to point up and cross up again, I want to be extra cautious here. After here, next area, right? 420, 421 pocket, 424.5. After that, 429. Still slowly giving you little wick action here. And just like I was reading on NQ, remember I was reading on NQ, that previous cross down. If this previous cross down that did break because of this candle, let me draw the line in here. If this gets reclaimed on the way up and it starts holding above 17.9, if it starts holding above this 17.9 level, right, it's going to basically push this the opposite way, and it's going to make this level now a bullish level instead of a bearish. But there it is, pushing back below. There's your 2 minute pulling back. There it goes. Now let's see if this can close below 16, right? If not, it's not ready yet. As long as this holds above this cross here, to 17.9, it's going to keep attempting to push up. I want this 2 minute candle to start closing below 17. So see, this is pointing up. This is not pointing. They're not following the same suit at the moment. You have a level here, still resisting. The 2 minute keeps closing above 17 though. I'm not liking it. I'm not going to test it. Okay. Understand market structure. Okay. Is there a quantum cheat sheet? Yes, there is, Sicky Platypus. There's a basic one in the quantum chat, and Sam is working on a really nice one. Just wait till you see what Sam's got cooking. So fish through the videos for now, Icky. But when Sam gets what he has up, you guys are gonna love that. Lots of great detail, pictures, and everything in there. All right, here's the curl down on the 19.7. Of course, right now you want it to stay below 19.2. You want this 2-minute candle to close below 17 if you want this to pull down. Until then, I'd be cautious just because your 1 and the 2 are not perfectly aligned, but there it goes. Here's my first one. First one got taken there. I am testing this one out. There goes my second one, and I'm trailing. Just 4 micros, quick $50 right there. 1 micro running, boom, $52. Just taking this quick little pull down. Can it keep going? Yes. I just played it lightly. I accidentally went in short on MNQ by accident. All right, just as an example, and look, it could keep going, and that's perfectly fine, right? I'm not playing it heavy. I'm obviously not going to be going heavy on trades when I'm teaching because I'm not fully focused on it. But there you're seeing it. Reaction at the level. There's your curl down. If you entered at 18, you'd be already up 30 ticks, right? Your stop loss would be right above 19. I got a late entry because I wasn't paying attention, obviously. So I caught that little quick pull down. That was it. It's still uptrending, right? It could bounce here at 14. It could go to 12. All right. Yeah, gold is clean when you wait for these levels. Like it respects these levels to the T a lot of the time, but you have to wait for your EMAs, your action lines to guide you there, right? There was your little scalp opportunity. You're not going to go for the home run. 20 ticks on gold is really, really good. Let your runner collect the rest for you. This is like all I do on repeat. Like, can you catch home runs here and there? Absolutely, you can. Your runners will collect a lot sometimes. And now this needs to hold below 17.4, right? This closed below 15.4. This needs to hold below 17.4 if this is going to lock in this new level right here. And this could keep pushing down if it wants to. And that's perfectly fine, right? I already got out of it and I'm perfectly fine. I took my little $50 and I'm good. Look at that. Like clockwork. It's the same thing I see over and over and over again, right? But again, I don't chase for the home run. I collect in just a few trades. I collect easily what people tend to wait for, like an hour for. Like people wait an hour for one setup. While I collect it within less that time. I collect more than that sometimes. Look at that. This is what you have to be patient for, right? 40 ticks if anyone got in at the 18 at the top side. All right. Let me see if I got some more questions. You guys doing the 6-7 thing? Come on, guys. Do you pay attention to the shorter time frame levels or the higher time frame levels more? I pay attention to both. But when they are stacked together is the major areas I pay the most attention to. Like this part right here. This is the part where I was waiting for. These stacked levels hold way better than just a level by itself. Level by itself, I'm going to wait for how it reacts inside. And I call the inside in between these two, I would call this a pocket. So I call this the pocket. And I want to see what it does to the pocket. Look at that push down. Right, there's your level, right? That level is 17, right? What was I saying? I want to see it close below 17 to give a push down. That's what it was. Your push down happened in the process. There's your level at 17. Look at that. All right. The 2-minute gives you the confluence that it can run hard. Yep, exactly. The 2-minute is the extra confluence for it to run down hard. Thank you, Sam. What's the TP target for gold? I know NQ is 5 and 10. Yeah, so with gold, it varies, right? With the 2-minute levels, I go for 20 and 30 ticks. With the 1 minute by itself, I go for 10 to 15 and let my runners run. But look at that. You're up 50 ticks right now, right? $5. If you got in at 18, I love it. All right. So that's 15 ticks and 26. Yeah. So you're not right. So I share my TPs, guys. They can vary to what you guys like. You can do whatever TPs you want. I share mine. Mine are on repeat. I do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's why I'm consistent. Right? I'm known as Mr. Consistency. Look at that beautiful short. Look at that. Look at that beautiful short. You got in up here. You're rolling right now. You're rolling. Super simple play. Super simple setup. Patiently waited. Yes, gold is 2.5 times leverage. That is true. That's why I size way smaller on gold. Can you explain solid and dashed lines? Yes, Bach. The dashed lines are the 1 minute levels. Now, the 1 minute levels are identical on gold and NQ. The 1 minute levels are the same, right? But with gold, the solid lines, you want them to be the 2 minute, right? And the settings I have posted in the quantum chat, if you go into the pinned messages, these are your gold settings. The time frame 1SR lines, you want it to be 1 minute and 2 minute. That's for gold. For NQ, and these are pinned in the quantum chat, are the 1 and the 5. So if you go in here, you have your time 1SR, time 2SR, 1 and 5. So this is your setting for NQ. Make sure you guys, we're working on something we're trying to see, And I know there's a way for you guys to save it, to save your templates to the indicator as well. I'm not super familiar with it, but I know some of you guys are, where you don't have to go and flip. You just change you could change your template to the ones that you have, right? I currently just have these separate charts where I know my NQ is going to be 1 and 5 and my gold is going to be 1 and 2. And I could just go back and forth like this. This is how I like to have it. Or I have all 5 like that, right? For Power Hour, where we're looking at NQ, SP, and gold. And I have sauce boxes for gold now. Sauce boxes for gold. And look, this one actually played out. That's where the short happened with the levels. So tons of confluences for the short here. If I had this chart up, I would have had the sauce box confluence with that short, and I might have gone a little heavier. Might have, you know, probably not really. Turn these things off, but there's extra confluence for that short. And I got 2 minute. These 2 minute ones are different things, so don't really pay attention to these. This is something I'm in the process of testing. So very clean there. All right. Obviously here, this is what it would look like if you're just doing pure quantum. Still had enough confluences with your action lines reacting to the levels. So very simple. All right. So on gold, I played with anywhere from 3 to 5 micros on gold. Yeah, and Sam's got it right there. Depending on your account size, 1 to 3 on 25Ks, 3 to 6 on 50, 6 to 9, 70. I haven't played with 75s. The 150s, I stopped playing with those because I was getting way too aggressive. Gold is tuning in. Good, blah, blah, blah. All right. Would no consider a 3-bar take entry? So 3, okay. Be cautious with normal candlestick structure on gold. If you're looking at candlestick structure on gold, this is where people get effed up the butt with gold, because gold does not respect candlestick structure like NQ would, or SP or ES. Gold could care less about the candlestick structure. So be cautious, because I think that's where people get burned on gold. When everyone says gold will stab you in the back, I think because they're trying to play regular run-of-the-mill candlestick structure, and it doesn't pan out at the same high rate where it would on NQ or ES. Or so with gold, I specifically wait for level reaction, A++ setups, and stack levels. It ripped after I closed my 15 mini long. Why were you in 15 minis, Reaper? Oh, come on, man. Don't be super degen. I was just in 8 minis on a icky. God, you guys. See, that's the kind of, you guys are getting out of those plays because you're in so heavy and it's making you scared. Super degen activity, Naj. I'm so behind on questions right now. I'm about 30 minutes behind. So, yeah, I know, right? It's a TPT eval holding your test. Okay, it's eval, but still, even with evals. Yeah, it's like monsters. Well, and look where it held, right? Look at the 2 minute uptrend right there. Look where it wicked up, right? This is where I use the cloud, right? I'm not going to hold on for a home run. I'll let it take me out where it takes me out, right? You could have held up to here where it wicked up here. You would have gotten trailed out there. That 2 minute, this is what the 5 minute. Holy shit, Icky. That's ridiculous, bro. You crazy, bro. You crazy, dude. Bitch ripped up 14 points after I closed my 150 micros. You guys, Reaper and Icky, you guys are wilding, man. When you say 2 minute crossed over, what do you mean on that cell specifically? So the 2 minute crossover is just that this cross. The crossover, anytime I'm saying crossover, is the action line crossover right there. And just gave you an A++ setup, obviously, which did give you a little quick wick up and then push down. But anytime I'm saying crossover, right, the levels are formed from the action line crosses, right? You guys can zoom in and you can see it. There's your 1 minute level, right? And up here, right, there's that 2 minute one, right? Anytime there's a coordinating colored candle attached or nearby, it gives these levels strength, right? You had a purple candle right behind. Wasn't fully attached to it. Let's go look at it on the 1 minute. You had one below here, right? So you had some little bearish candles to kind of give you strength up here, and it held that level on this touchback here, and again right here. All right, very simple. So I always want to see levels attached to these candles. These candles hold a lot of strength when they're attached to these levels. Action levels cross on the 2 minute on MGC. Yes, Kathy. 2 minute on MGC, 5 minute on NQ. So 1 in the 5 on NQ, 1 in the 2 on gold on MGC. I wouldn't do that on a funded account. Yeah, action level. Yeah, sorry, I have watched several videos, but I am going to be a real newbie. It's okay, Schwab. It's okay to be a new brother. You're learning something new, right? Master learning each individual part. Again, we're doing this on repeat. Anytime you come in, you have a new question, right? I go through questions. I try to answer them as quickly as possible. And I get behind sometimes. And as I'm watching price action, I will get lost on the price action because I'm like, ooh, I like what I'm seeing here. And I'll start narrating. But it's okay. You're a new, remember, I want you all to remember this. This is a strategy. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill indicator, right? This is a whole strategy. You have 4 different setups to play with that you can scalp with all day. This is why I'm known for scalping all day, because I can do it. I've just started finally calming down again, right? I had my fun with gold, the gold affair, right? Now I'm kind of just chilling now. You know, I've already had my fun with gold. We've already done all the dirty. So now we're just relaxing. We're relaxing on the beach again. And I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to chill now. I'm just going to hit my TPs, my targets, right? I'm going to take a few trades here, a few trades there, call it a day, move on. And I'm not going to be trading it all day like I did because I was testing the hell out of gold for a good month, testing it nonstop. And it was probably my best month I've had in a very long time with gold. Was why I fell in love with gold. But I can trade at any, I can find a setup at any time of the day. Any time of the day. I found setups during London. I can find setups during random times, 9:30, 11:30. If I see a setup, I'm going to test it. I'm going to attempt it as long as I like what I'm seeing. The risk is there and everything is lining up. I have my stop losses in place, right? No one should be in a play that if you're in a short and you see this bearish candle get broken, you should not be in the short anymore. Get out of it. Don't hold. Wait till the put comes up back here and see if there's a reaction up here to re-enter it. But don't be holding. If this purple candle gets broken, you're in a short, you should already be like, nah, that didn't work out. It's okay. That didn't work out. Rejected that level again. Look at that. Push back down. Now it's attempting to break that 411 again. That 411.9 is that first level of uptrend on the 2 minute. It breaks back down there. Oh, look at that. Huge wick down. Look where it wicked on the let me brighten this up on the 1 minute because it is a little dark. It's testing the 1 minute uptrend. There you go, right there. Look at that. Look at that wick. Right back up. Next, if it breaks that 1 minute downtrend, next would be 4,006.5, which is the 2 minute downtrend. If it breaks through that right now, that's a nice hard wick back up, and it could retest it. But these are those little areas where you'll see reaction. Okay. I always wait for candle closure on the A++ setup rod on something up here, right? When I'm seeing these curls, right? If I'm seeing this curl on the 2 minute, I'm going to enter on this candle. I'm going to enter on the candle that's leading that pull down. My stop loss here would be the top of that level, the break of that level, or the top of that curl. That's where I would set my stop loss on something like this to play the potential crossover, the cross of that 2 minute level. Damn, look at that meltdown. Wow. 100 tick move so far from that top side, right? I don't catch the whole move, but it's still cool as hell to see it play out over and over and over again. So I like to wait for candle closure, J-Rod. You might need to drag. To be honest, I'm still lost. Seems like so much to analyze and consider between the 1 and the 2 minute chart. Hey, Nova, that's okay. You know, it's okay, right? You're coming in, you're learning something new. If it feels overwhelming and it's too much, it's too much. You know, this may not be for you. It's perfectly fine. You have to come in with a clean slate, an open mind. You have to come in without having all these other biases in place. This is a whole strategy. You're learning 4 different setups, and you have to kind of erase some of these other things you may come in with. It may not be for you, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all strat for everything, right? This is what I use to take all my trades. This is what I'm reading when I'm narrating Power Hour. Quantum gives me my MOC candle setups. Everything I'm reading is based on this, you know, and it's perfectly fine, man. Like you're not the first, you're not going to be the last. If it's too much, it's too much. It's okay. That's why we have, you know, the weekly trial, right? We have those videos up for you guys to check out. But these setups happen all the time. They're very simple to look for. If you're just patient and you're waiting, you could just wait for the level reaction. You don't have to play every A++ setup. All you have to do is wait for it to approach a level, see if you're seeing your curls, and enter that. And that's simple. Stop loss above. That's it, right? You could wait for an A++. Enter that, all right? Back and forth. Be cautious. Level up top. Don't like it. Don't enter it. So there's several ways, you know, A++ setup over here, right? There's your A++ setup down. Give a little bit of a pull up to retest. There's your pull down. Back-to-back candles. We know what that is, right? Testing the uptrend. So it's just different areas to look out for. And remember, I'm a scalper. I'm a pure scalper. Did it bounce off the 2 minute? Oh, okay, not yet. It still had a little bit of room, but it bounced at 4,008.5. Blue candle didn't give the red line. No, that blue candle would not have given you the red line. This did not trigger the entry at all, because what this did, right? Let me zoom in. This didn't give a true cross. This gave a tap, right? Let's zoom in. The original cross, the level that was forming, right? There's this little kind of tap. It didn't fully cross. It just tapped the top and pushed up. This is where this would have crossed on this big purple candle right here. If this held down on this candle, that would have created that level. But as soon as it pulled up and this level got flipped the other way, it didn't give you your traditional cross. This one is a little bit more technical, which I don't like to explain too much because it will cause you to get a little more confused. But this would have formed the level. The minute this level got reclaimed up, this would have flipped, right? And this is where this one would not have triggered anything at all. Unless this candle here closed below and it would have triggered your sell on this purple, but it would not trigger it on this blue right here. So this one's a little bit more of a technical thing to look at the way the EMA or the action lines actually tap and cross up, because they didn't really cross. It gave a tap and then they pushed. So it would not have triggered it. But good noticing it, G Money. That's good that you noticed that, because isn't that your traditional, right? The 2 minute level crossed up here, right? It didn't give you the blue candle, but you had your blue on the 1 minute. So you're only going to see them triggered if that crossover happens. And it didn't really happen. It just gave the tap on the top. All right. So it was slightly risky, G Money. That wasn't a traditional play. This was just a flip. And I was narrating that if this level gets, if that 399, I think it was 399.1 or 399.2, where that level was trying to form, if that got reclaimed, right? If it held below it, you would have gotten a push down to potentially test here. But if it got pushed back above it and held above it, the move up was more in play there, which obviously it launched, which was a way more violent move than I was expecting. Like I wasn't expecting that kind of a move up. Obviously, this was that beautiful short setup from up here. All right, let's see. So Swab, yeah, I got that. I'm just not sure what he meant about following it down once it passed a line. There is no line. So I don't know if you're looking at, if it's hard to go back to what I was saying if there was no line, because I'm not always looking at the line. Sometimes I'm looking at the clouds, right? The cloud's your trend. So the cloud will give you your trend. And if I'm looking at a level, I'm looking at the cloud levels as well as potential areas. You don't have to. I don't always look at the cloud. I'm just giving you guys an example of how to use the cloud. Each little individual piece gives you guidance to what you could see, right? You're not going to just see random reactions out of nowhere. You're going to see reactions inside here to understand what the price is doing, right? To kind of give you a guidance of, hey, if I have a runner here, do I want to keep holding it to see if it breaks down, or am I happy with what I got? Right? Do you want to make your green trade turn red, which no one should ever want to do? And if the move keeps going, it keeps going. Don't be like, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Oh, I could have made more money, because that leads to FOMO, and that FOMO in the future leads to holding on to bad plays, because the last time you had a play that was similar to this, it ran 20, 30, 50 points. This one could do the same thing, and then it doesn't do it, and then you end up getting burned. You have to be very cautious not to let that FOMO take over with that. So hopefully some of this starts making sense again, right? We do this weekly. We do it twice a week. I'm doing one tonight. I'm going to do one again in the morning for the London crew, and I'm going to do it all over again next week. And everything we go over, it's already available on YouTube, but it's fun to see it live. It's fun to see it happening in action. So the Trina, the main setups are for gold. The EMA crosses inside of these colored candles when you have other confluence, right? Like this buy signal in the middle of nowhere, if there was no level here, wouldn't be a fan. I want there to be a level. Same like what we saw up here, right? This didn't give us a signal at all. This was just pure action line reaction at a level, right? I didn't wait for a signal up here. I was just seeing, I like the crossover. I have a level. I like that pull down. Caught that short. And no stupid questions, guys. There are no stupid questions. So I'm looking, right? Remember, again, I want everyone to be clear with this, because there's a lot of new guys and gals in here. I am an EMA trader first, right? EMA trader. I have to say that because the action lines are not traditional EMAs, right? But they act like EMAs because this is how we read EMAs. But I have to tell you guys, I'm an EMA trader because these action lines form these levels for me. Everything I'm looking for is based around the A++ setup, right? The colored candle is an added confluence to what I'm looking for from my action lines that form these levels, because I know that gives them strength. The candles also identify where there's the tug of war between the real like buying and selling action, not just the random candles appearing in between, right? But I'm mainly reading my levels and what my action lines are doing at those levels that lead up to those A++ setups. You will find a lot of really smooth setups with gold over NQ, especially during Asia, over and over and over again. NQ doesn't mean it's bad. It's just NQ takes more time. Oh, look at that. What do we have here? There's your 5 minute, your 1 minute. There's a triple stack. 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. You had a sell signal here, right? Would I have gone in on here? Potentially, I had the 2 stack levels above to hold. My stop loss would have been just above here. Look at this. Huge meltdown right there. This would have been a nice attempt for a short entry anywhere around here. Even an entry at L5, even the entry at this candle closure, stop loss would have still been about 10, 15 points. Big meltdown, all right? We just went over this on gold. This is the 1 and the 5 on NQ, 1 and the 5. There's your 5. There's your 1s. All right. MGC. Oh, look at that. What do you have here? Stacked levels right there. It's the same thing, right? Just gold doesn't react with the 5 at all. The 5 minute on gold does nothing. It's the 1 and the 2 with gold, right? I went through all the testing to make sure that I found the right time frames for gold to do what NQ does at the same thing with its time frames. All right. Don't worry, Schwab. Schwab and Trina, when Sam comes out with that manual, it's going to help a ton. I'm telling you, that manual alone is going to help a ton, especially if you're just a visual cure, right? Because sometimes seeing it in action, it can happen too fast because you're kind of looking and you're like, oh, wait, where do you see that? What did I miss? And when you see the way that he has the pictures in there and the explanations in there, you guys are in for a treat. Like, you guys are really in for a treat when that thing comes out. So Icky Platypus on gold, I don't play 3-bar setups. I don't like 3-bar setups on gold. They don't play the traditional way. Do they play out sometimes? Yes, but they don't play your traditional 3-bar setup like NQ would, right? And I always look for 3-bar setups around other levels and things like that. All right, look where NQ is coming. It's 76. Breaks through 76. You don't have anything until all the way down here at 39.40. But again, am I going to bet on it to come all the way down there? I don't know. It's got to break through here, right? Here, let's draw this line here. Let's see what it does with this blue candle right there. Because this would be the next little structure point. And then after that would be down there if it wants to keep going down that way. But yeah, there's a nice NQ setup there. That was a nice NQ setup. So you could play a runner however you want, Icky. On gold, I don't play traditional 3 bars. And like I said, Nova, that's okay, brother. That's okay. It's okay. If it's complicated, it's perfectly fine. Awesome. Is this current EMA curl on the 1 minute gold shirt looking good at 37? So I think you're talking about this guy, 37. I'm not sure which one we're talking about. Helped a lot. Thanks. Okay. All right, Naj. I'm glad. Okay, I'm catching up with questions. So if I'm talking now, obviously after all this stuff is happening, I'm going through all the stuff. How do you define your risk when it's not an A+ setup? And do you get a buy or sell signal? When it's not an A++ setup, like I was reading this and the gold short, right? No A++ setup here. This was just EMA setup or action line setup with a break of that level being a stop. And I just gauge my entry would be 17.18. I think I got in at 17.5. I forgot where I got in exactly. Somewhere around 17.5 I got in. My stop loss would have been up here. I just played it with 3 micros, right? I didn't hold it that long because I'm, not fully paying attention. So I took my $50 and ran. It's done. Awesome, Sam. I'll take a look at it. Probably tomorrow morning. All right. The cheat sheet will be pinned soon. Life. If Sam is done with it, oh, I can't wait till you guys see it. Sweet. You sent me the final version last night. Dang. Okay. I'll look for it, man. If not, resend it to me because I get lost in messages. No started hearing you talk the other numbers besides the price. Okay. My levels are different than yours. Do I need to change my settings? So Trina, hopefully, your settings you want to see for gold right here. The time frame 1SR, time frame 2SR, 1 and the 2. This is what you want to see on gold. Okay, 1 and the 2. And this is pinned in the quantum chat. On NQ, you want to see time 1SR, time 2SR, the 1 and the 5. The 1 and the 5. Right? And look what happened with NQ, right? Look at it, hit this level, right? Look where it jumped. 77 led to what? Level reaction right there. Look at that. Curled. Could have made an entry at 80. Stop loss below 76. Would have caught almost 10 points. Now give you 10 points. There's your 10 points right there. Boom. There's your 10 plus points. There you get to see it on NQ. Now NQ is starting to flow now. So got to see that happening. had nothing. Waited for your level up. Bounce up. Like you're curling. Make a little entry down here. Stop loss below. All right. Very low risk. 5 points. Caught 10 points. Let's go, Ken. For quantum range plays, do we enter on the retest of the level with limit order or do you wait for close? I wait for close of the retest candle, Kathy. I always, and I play this every break and retest. You should be playing the same. You want the retest to close outside, not inside. You want it to close outside. 743. We're looking at gold. Gold advanced read plays are slightly riskier, but I don't see any real advanced reads at 743. On either one. Like an advanced read, you want to see it attached to one of your candles for an advanced read. So you don't have to wait for a candle closure on gold 2 minute. No, on gold 2 minute, you can play the EMA, the action line curl down, right? Same thing with the 1, right? The 1 minute, as soon as I see this hard curl down, right? It just so happened to be with a purple. So that gave this extra strength here and your stop loss will be right above at that point to catch that right there. And obviously this is NQ. This is NQ right here. This would have been your short entry right here. Short entry, even before that purple candle closed, stop loss above to catch that little ride down. You had your 5-minute level also pulling down. So you had a few confluences here. 1 minute cross down. That was your stack level formation for that hard push down. And then here's your bounce off that level right there. Advanced reset with gold, right? 2 minute, right? Here's your hard curl down. I like this here, right? This is where I like that short. I entered at 17.5, so I entered somewhere around here. I didn't wait for that full candle closure. My stop loss was right up here. And look where it's bouncing right now, right? It's hitting this level. Bounced once, right? I'm not going to be playing this too much until the 2 minute starts respecting it as well. 2 minute could start cracking through it. You want to wait for everything to line up. If you caught this little wick up, that was good. Don't try to play it too many times because now it's getting weaker. Once, twice, now it's getting weaker. If it breaks below it, holds below it, it could retest this bottom side. But again, it could easily hold it too. It could keep wicking above and holding above. All right, there's that meltdown. Next would be down here, 995.5. But it also needs to break that blue candle right here, 998.3. All right, you're in the middle here. There's no other trades currently. I'm not going to play a level break trade or anything like that around here. Just little pocket areas where it could easily bounce. This 1 minute, it's going to close below. The 2 minute still has another minute left. So this 2 minute level is still technically valid until this 2 minute closes below it. See, 2 minute is still up here. It's still valid on the 1 minute. See if it closes back above. Advanced reads only gold. Yeah, advanced reads on gold are tricky. That's right, Sam. They don't play the same way as they do on NQ. Just using 2 micros while getting used to gold. Awesome. I know I'm excited to see it when it is approved. Oh yeah, you guys are in for a treat with that. Wait, so you just look at the sell off you took the sell to 417. Yeah. So with the 2 minute, cross formation, I go for 20 ticks, then 25 ticks, or 30 ticks. Sometimes I go for 20, then 30, but I start trailing immediately after I hit the 20. I go to break even. I didn't enter when the candle turned purple. The candle turned purple up down here. I entered over here. I didn't get the entry up here. I got the entry down here. I got like 17.5 or something. So I got the entry up in this area before this candle even turned, just based on that reaction, that hard curl down here. And my stop loss was up there. And if it pulled back up, it pulled back up. It wasn't that much of a risk. Okay, 1, 2. So Galavis, my risk, I try to keep it the same. With NQ, I look for 15 points. With gold, right, I try to keep it around the same where my TP is. So 17.5 I entered. It was about $2 risk, 20 tick risk. My first TP on this as a 2 minute was a 2 tick risk. So try to keep it within like 1 and 1 RR, but I don't always even think about it, right? I don't always think about the RR. I go in, I'm already willing to take the L with a couple micros. It's not going to be that bad, even if it's a little higher risk, right? The runners always collect more than what my initial loss tends to be, but usually I don't even go after the runner until the play is already happening and it plays out. So by the time the play is playing out, I'm already way past the RR in a sense, right? But I'm patiently waiting for the cleanest setup. So I'm not just entering every setup everywhere. Would you wait for a retest of the new 2 minute level to re-enter? I wouldn't wait for the retest. If I played it once, I don't like to play it more than once, right? If you're playing it more than once, you're kind of taking a shot at like it getting eventually broken. The more it tests without your EMAs lining up, right? Like the 2 minute did not start curling up here at all. So this was looking weak to me, right? It did break slightly above, did hold, but there's your pull down. And currently, right, look where it's trying to hold up here at this blue candle right there. This is currently where it's trying to hold. Now you're 2 minutes trying to flatten out, but it needs to stay above the 399. It needs to stay above here to continue to flatten out and then potentially pull up. It's not looking horrible, but I want to see what this 2 minute, like right now, I'm not fully sold on it. I want to see what this 2 minute candle does. I want to see this next 2 minute candle start closing above this 4,000. But I would like it a lot more if it came down to either 995 or 8950. Like here, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. You're only using your blue candle at this current area. This is the only thing you're holding on to right here. So I would like to see it get closer to a level. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there's a wick at that level right there. And this is a level by itself. And I can get rid of this, right? And this is where patience comes in, right? That short played out beautifully. I don't know if you played Quantum with HP, you'd probably be running this down. You'd probably still be in the short, honestly, with the combo. You would have caught the trade up here and you'd be up a shit ton. But again, that's not me. That's not me. Look where it wicked, right? Right at that level. They're not just there for no reason. And now if it breaks through that, next is down here. If it breaks through this, let me see. I'm going to have to adjust my levels, I think, because I don't have anything else below there. I know there's levels down here, but I'm going to have to adjust my points because I do have it kind of tight so I don't have a bunch of levels. Oh, no. What? Hold on. Max points. I have it set to 1,000. Why do I want to have levels there? There should be levels down there. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust this to 50. Might be just overloaded. Do I really not have anything below? Dang, okay. I don't have anything below there at the moment. Okay. If it rips through that, oh, there, it's coming down. Ooh, hard meltdown. Violent meltdown. Wow. And there's a pull up, but that was a hard push down. Why don't I have any more levels down here? I should have levels down there. There's no way I don't have any levels down below. And I held on to that level for dear life. It's been a while since price action has been down here. Is it not collecting the historical data on this thing now? What's going on with this? I don't have levels below this. I have the box here. Oh, look, it made it to one of the sauce boxes. That's where it jumped. At the sauce box and this. I would have taken that if I saw that on this chart. That's interesting that I don't see any levels below there. Yeah, I have no levels below. I have a bunch up top, none below. All right, I'm going to have to chat with Owen about that because I don't like that I don't have anything below now. If the historical data didn't keep up to date on this, that's not good. NQ melting down. That's weird. There's nothing down here at all. All right. So I'll look into that, guys and gals. The sauce box is a coaching thing, Life at the Beach. That is a secret thing that I teach on my students. Does the candle matter? What is it like regular candlestick? The candlestick doesn't always matter with gold. With gold, it doesn't matter. With NQ, the candlestick structure plays a little bit. You could play 3 bars and things on NQ. You cannot play your traditional 3-bar setups on gold. The price is going to be $750 starting in November. And that's okay, guys. Trina Nova, it's okay. If it's too much info for you guys, it's perfectly fine. It's not for everybody. This is what I use. This is what I personally use, right? When you're hearing me narrating everything in Power Hour, when you're hearing me narrating everything and what I'm showing you my winnings on, this is all I'm doing. How do I know if it's going to respect it? I'm looking at my action lines. I'm looking at my lines, curling around them. This is it. That's all I'm doing, right? I'm patiently waiting for it to hit these levels, and I'm waiting for my action lines to curl. That's it, right? This level got heavily respected, right? So I said if it breaks that, this is the area, and look at that. Look at that, 89, and jumped all the way back up to 99. This is what I'm looking for. Look at that. There you go, Icky Platypus. Once you get it, it becomes easy. Once you get it. In the beginning, it's always a little bit, it's always a lot. It's always a lot because you're looking at something completely new, completely unique, and you have to focus on one setup at a time. Don't try to understand all of it at once. You have to focus on one setup at a time. That's it. Yeah, we got all that, Sam. All that Sam has in that manual and in my videos as well. All the setups are in my videos on YouTube. You can do on gold. You can absolutely enter the crosses if you have other confluences. Don't just enter the crosses by themselves, right? The stack level formations don't always need those colored candles. The colored candles are the added confluence, but your stack levels alone give strength. Right? You have the 1 and the 2 lining up for potential pull up. You could try to enter that right now. Currently, right, we did have this level reaction here. I would love to know why I don't have any more levels below this 988, and I gotta find out why. So I gotta get in touch with my guy on that because I don't like that I don't have levels below here, and I know I had some, but there's none. There you go, J Wheels. And it's very simple at its core when you know what to look for, right? But if you're trying to understand everything all at once, it's a lot. There is Miles Bennett. My YouTube has everything I'm going over right now. You're gonna see in my YouTube channel. Yeah, don't try to understand everything on day one, Deuce. Don't try, any of you. Don't try to understand it all on day one, please. I went over several setups, Trina. Went over several setups already. Went over the range breaks. I went over the A++, and we went over this short right here on the EMA curls. And all this stuff you can find on my YouTube as well. We'll go over this again Thursday, and then we'll go over, or not, I don't know if I'm going to do it Wednesday or Thursday yet, in the morning, and then we'll go over this again next week. But I have to wrap it up, guys, because it is 8:30. My daughter's crying outside, getting ready for bedtime. If you missed a setup, you miss it, Bronco Man. Do not chase. Please do not chase. There are setups all day. If you're patient and you wait. If you missed a setup, you miss it. You're going to get setups later on. Your trade of 8 is lagged. That's interesting. Yeah, never chase. That's interesting, G Money. At 740. Yeah, there was that short setup over here at 740. I took this. I kind of told everybody I like this up here, stop loss above here for that short. Right? Your level reaction, right? And guess where else you saw that? You saw it on Q and Q right here. Level reaction, pull down. And guess what? You saw it again right here. Level reaction, pull up. Now you're just floating. And guess what else you see here? What else do we have here on NQ now? You have your range. Boom, right there. Blues, purples, back to back in the same vicinity. There's your range right now. See these wicks? Wick. Either has to break over 86.75, break it, retest and hold, and then push up. Or And below, right, you're not going to play a short just because it breaks here. You want it to break this level, then you want it to break that level. Then you would have these levels all the way down here next if it wants to pull down that far, right? You can see what it did over here too, right? Here's your 5-minute range. And if you draw your 5-minute range, there's your break, no retest, it just kept going, right? Just kept going. Technically, it did break these blues right here, where it did break this. It did give the break and the retest right here, and more push down incoming. Look at that, right? Bullish candles got broken, retesting them here, currently still rejecting them, pulling down. This will be your 5-minute. 5-minute ranges I'm not a big fan of because they tend to be a lot wider, and you need the 5 minutes to close, and I'm not going to sit there and stare at the 5-minute chart. I just want my 5-minute EMAs to cross with the 1. Like if I see this up here, this looks good for me, right? You get your sell signals lining up with other confluences, this sell signal with the 5-minute pushing down with that sell signal, that purple candle, that looks good for a short setup, which did play out. But you're at all-time highs. Got to be patient. All right, awesome, Schwab. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Yep, I do, Trina. My YouTube channel, I have a bunch. Thank you, Sam. When you say you want there to be a level, what do you mean exactly? Action lines in the indicator? The levels, the lines. These lines right here. The dash lines and the solid lines. The solid lines are your higher time frame levels. The dash lines are your lower time frame levels. When they're stacked up together, they're close. They hold strength. Those are what I call the stack levels, right? This 1 minute by itself can hold strength. It did here, bounced up, didn't bounce up a whole lot, but it did bounce. Get it retested again, and it's holding. It is holding, but I like these down here. These stack levels is what I really look for. So the curl is just waiting for the reaction around levels, right? Here's your curl. Here's your levels. Here's your curl, hard curl. You can enter anywhere here. Stop loss above the levels, stop loss above the candles. You got a purple candle here, so you can use your purple candle with those levels above. That's your bearish candle. And there was your move, right? Currently, there's your break. A little bit of a retest, right? Still bouncing, holding on to that level for dear life. Awesome, all right. The little arrows don't mean anything, Miles Bennett, so do not pay attention to the arrows. These little arrows mean nothing. They were a confluence for the seconds time frame, which we don't use at all. So the arrows mean nothing. And you'll see them. You can ignore them. We're trying to get rid of them. But we're also trying to figure out if we could keep him in the seconds time frame for any super degen who wants to use them in the seconds time frame. Yep. That was a good play there, Nick. You had the break, the retest, and you had the continuation. That was nice. Break, retest, boom. So you played that correctly. If you entered at the second candle that retested, and your stop loss will be the candle that led the break. That's all right, move man. We do these every week, brother. You haven't missed anything new. It's a solid white line, the resistance zone, to see if it breaks. It will go long. If it rejects, it will then go back to short. Yeah, if it breaks, there's a potential for it to come down. All right. But again, I'm not playing just line breaks. I don't like to play just line breaks, level breaks without extra confluences. I don't like to play. I want to wait for it. Like, look at this, right? Again, right? Why did I say be cautious at this break here? Because you have levels below. It's respecting the levels. Let's go back and look at gold. Oh, damn, look at gold. Look what gold launched. Look at that. See? Look at that. Gold launched right up. Oh, look at that. 2-minute buy signal. Gee, if I didn't just explain it all. You're in it, Bach. I'm the solid white line resistance. When is tomorrow morning session? Not tomorrow morning, Pluto. It'll be either Wednesday or Thursday. I will announce it in the quantum chat. There you go, Stephen Moore. Let's go. Yep. We got to hold him to his word. He owes us all a free week of quantum. He's not the chalkboard in the morning. Really? Really, Icky? Caught the MNQ bounce. Let's go. There you go, Rain and Shells. You mean in the middle of the 2-minute? Yeah. So Nick Rav, you want to be careful when it's in between levels. But you did that setup. You did play it correctly with what you showed me, right? Broke the blue candle, did the retest. That retest, that 4,008 would have been your entry. Your stop loss would have been above the 4,010, and then you would have cut that little push down. But when you're stuck in between levels, right? You want to be cautious when you're stuck in between levels. But that setup was clean. All right. With the line, the arrow at the center action, would you consider this busted when it crossed on the way down? Was to use it in the line. Once it crossed it down, let's see where this was. It was 4,005, so this is over here. Where was that? Is that on the 2-minute? That looks like it's on your. Are you using the 5-minute chart there? Because that's not what I'm seeing on mine. Mine looks completely different to yours. Dun. Yeah, that chart looks different to mine, Swab. I don't know if you're on the 5-minute. I don't use the 5-minute on gold at all. But if I'm looking at it correctly, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong area, I think. Hold on, I'm trying to see where you're looking at. I don't see it here. I'm trying to line up mine to yours. Big blue, purple. Okay, you're right here. This is what you were initially looking at, and then you saw that big push up. Then the cross down. Why does yours look different to mine? Are you on GC? Because this wick looks completely different to mine. You're on the 2 minute. And then this here, it still looks different. It still looks different, brother. I don't know why your sharp candles look different to mine. Unless you're on GC. If you're on GC, they're going to look slightly different. But I would want it to hold above that cross that's forming. I want it to hold above that. Once it holds above that, you usually get the launch up. Yeah, Trina, you can have it set up on I chart on NQ. You could do it on MNQ as well, but you might okay, here's the thing with MNQ and NQ, right? This is the way TradingView does it. TradingView sucks butt with what they do with the way that they separate the volume on the two. So you might miss a signal here and there on MNQ that will show up on NQ, but guess what? You're gonna miss some signals that may show up on MNQ that won't show up on NQ too. But everything else plays out the same. It's just they do something wonky with the two. There's difference in candle sizes, there's difference in volume, and it throws things off slightly. 3 trades on gold in this session with only 3 micros. There you go. Look at that, Nick. That's all it takes, brother. I'm telling you. It's very low risk plays, very high rewards with gold. All right. The 2 solid lines are these are 2 solid lines right here. I think you're looking at where I was right here. Those are your 2, hopefully if you have the settings correctly, those should be your 2 minute levels. If you have your level settings, right, for gold, these 2 time frame 1 SR, time frame 2 SR, one of the 2. Those solid lines are your higher time frame levels. Higher time frame levels are your solid lines. All right. Good. All right. Awesome, G-Money. I'm glad that you, okay. You're late, Oakland. I don't have any either. What are you guys? Wait, I don't have any either. What are you guys talking about? This session is recorded, yes, but I'm not sure if it'll be posted. Or 822. Holy shit. Okay, so you guys don't have levels below either too. Okay. All right, let me see if there are any. Sam, thank you, Sam. You rocked it tonight answering a lot of these questions. I do not copy trade hard now. I do not. I trade every account separately. So the stacked levels, again, are just the formation of the lower time frame levels, your 1 minute and your higher time frame levels forming in the same vicinity, right? Your 1 minute and 2 minute, right, on gold, and on NQ, your 1 minute and your 5 minute. And they form in the same vicinity. You see a nice resistance point here for a potential push down, or vice versa for a potential push up, right? If it's forming the levels below, that was your push up. Right, same thing we're seeing and we saw it in NQ, right? This is on the way up, and NQ, right? You saw the same thing on the way down. That's a common pattern with these. That was a violent push up from that level. That is wild. I wasn't expecting it to be that violent, but that was the last level on my chart. I got to find out why I have no other levels below. All right. If you're late, it's all good, man. We go over these all the time. You can find everything we went over on my YouTube as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I have to wrap it up. 8:42. I'm already behind. I'm trying to catch up with as many questions as possible. Yes, stack levels are potential entry setups. You always want to enter at the first level formation, right? If you enter the second one, it becomes riskier. But if you enter the second one, your stop loss could be the break of the first one. So that's how you want to do it. I like to enter the formation of the first one, lowest risk. If I enter late, if I enter the formation of the second one, my stop loss is the break of that first level. Those are very simple setups. All right. You might be catching on, so Abe. Take your time, brother. Take your time. Practice. Practice. The setups, you got to trust the process, right? It takes time to learn a new strategy. Remember, this is a new strategy you're getting your hands on, and this is all I trade. This is all I'm reading. Once you know what I'm seeing, you start seeing it, you can narrate it, and you're like, well, if this happens here, if this does this, boom, 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 I should see this. And then you start seeing it. Oh, shit, I just called that. All right, let's wait for the next one. Okay, if this holds here, this does this, I start seeing the curl up. If this holds here, we should see this happen. Boom. You're like, oh, crap, right? That's all I'm doing with Power Hour. I do this all over and over and over again, and I'm like, well, you know what? I saw this setup before. I'm at my level. I'm seeing my curl down. Let me test it, right? If I lose, I lose. It's perfectly fine. It was usually low risk. I'm like, okay, it didn't play out this time. Let me wait for another level to approach. Let me see if I see it here. Let me see where it's going to hit that next point where I could enter a potential play. And I just do it on repeat. And I don't change my sizing. I don't change my TPs. I don't chase any of that. I leave it all the same. I do it over and over and over again. Ooh, all right, guys and gals. Some of you guys caught that long, it looks like. Heck yeah. Let's go. It is, right, Woozy? It is. Let's go, Rod. That long took off. Look at that short and then the long. It looks like some of you guys caught that, so let's fucking go. All right, guys and gals. I'm trying to keep up. Sergio, I appreciate you guys too, man. You don't understand how much I love doing this. I love doing this a lot. Like, I get lost in this world, and I can do this all day, but then I have to remember I have a family, I have kids. They do miss me. You know, I've been super busy the last 2 months. We took that trip to Disney because I've been booked out for the last 2 months, right? The price increase, everything is because I didn't do this, so I would be, locked in the room all the time. But I love teaching so much, and I love helping you guys so much. It's hard to want to detach, but I also have to remember I got a family too, and they need me too, and it's like this tug of war thing. I'm being pulled both sides because I love doing this and I love being with them, and I want to make sure that I got that in between, so I'm trying to find that middle ground. I love doing this. Like you guys see, every time I'm here for way longer than I'm supposed to. I told my wife, no, I'll try to keep it short. I'll try to keep it like an hour 20. We're almost 2 hours in. No, yeah, we're almost 2 hours in. But I love doing this. Like I do this all the time. I love it, and I get lost in it. Obviously, I can trade anytime, anywhere, any place, and I enjoy it. This is fun for me. Prime time, any of those setups, please share those, because it's hard to go and explain to you what you may be missing if I'm not sure what setups you're looking at, right? You don't want to be in the middle of nowhere, right? You don't want to be caught in between a whole bunch of levels. There could be a bunch of stuff. There could be a bunch of stuff, right? If you're at all-time highs, gold has been making all-time highs for weeks, right? And now it's kind of just bouncing around a bunch of little areas. So there could be a lot. So anytime you're in one of these plays that fake you out and things like that, maybe you got caught in a little range pocket, right? A higher time frame range pocket. Share those in the quantum chat. We love to break them down. All right. Like, and sometimes when you're trying to like flip back and forth, you should already know, you know what? I shouldn't be in this. If I'm not sure and I'm already flipping from one side to the other side, I should not be in this because I don't have a clear direction. And that's usually telling you your EMAs are crossing once and then they cross again. It's potentially stuck in a range pocket. And NQ, if you got a lot of these on NQ, NQ's been tricky the last few weeks. Looks like it's just floating around here. Yeah, Schwab. Yep, you got it, Sam. Floating in between levels, no trades. The Pivot Hunter is good, G Money. It is good. I'll let you know, Wingnut. I'm about to get a payout from Funded Next, so I'll let you know if I have trouble with them. I'm trying to build up a little bit more though before I take the payout. Okay. Look at you, freaking Miles. That's a hell of a day, dude. 1465. Way to go. You need to be patient. Yep. Just like Pivot Hunter, you need to be patient with the quantum setups too. You have to be patient, wait for the setups, wait for the levels. You have to wait for it to approach levels, right? Wait for it to approach levels and wait for the action lines to react, things like that. As an example, wait for the range to form, play off the range. Those kind of things is what you want to wait for. Mm-hmm. Advanced Orb is good too, G Money. I use Advanced Orb a lot, actually. I have a few of my orbs are in there. So I do use Advanced Orb. Awesome, Printing Pink. Awesome, Deuce. I'm glad, brother. Thank you. Danny, keep practicing. And again, any questions you guys have, ask in that quantum chat. Ask in the quantum chat. What time is it? Almost 9. Yes, Rackham. I have the range plays in there. I have the A++ setups in there, and I'm working on making more as well. I'm going to make little separate videos for each setup as well. Yep, Sam, thank you so much, brother. Big help tonight, bro. Trust me, when that manual comes out, guys, that's gonna clear a ton of things up too. I'm trying to catch up with the questions. I'm so close. I'm 5 minutes. I'm 5 minutes from catching up. If the blue candle doesn't give the red line, that means the A++ setup didn't activate for that particular candle. Those only activate when the crosses happen inside the body or within one candle, right? This one activated. The cross happened within one candle. It activated there. Yep, pushing through, ripping through the level, right? Again, right? You want to be patient. You don't want to just try to wing a reaction here, right? This is trying to cross up again. Your 2-minute EMAs have not even attempted to flatline anywhere here. So this could easily continue. Test this pocket. That's getting violent. That's getting pretty violent. See the 2 minutes still pulling up. There's nothing here. No reaction. There's your new level right there. Let's go, Rod. All right. All right. I'm so close. All right, probably. Are we losing? How much are we losing by? We got to be losing by a lot. All right, so close to catching. Okay, thank you, Hard Now. I've had a long day, Nick Riv. I'm trying to keep up with I'm catching up. I'm making sure there's no major, but they're okay. I see everyone telling me to get out. Yeah, break and reach. Let's just blow through them. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're gonna do this all over again in one of these mornings, and then again next week. Everything we went over, you'll find it on my YouTube channel. And again, we're gonna get that manual out here. I appreciate every single one of you. We're gonna hopefully get this ingrained in some of your brains if you choose to keep going. If not, it's okay. It's perfectly fine This may not be for everybody, but this is exactly how I trade. This is what I'm waiting for. Like I wait for reactions around levels. I wait for my action lines to tell me what to do. And I wait for the same setups over and over and over again. Same risk, all that. So everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Trade safe if you're going to degen tonight. Be cautious. Have your stop losses in play. Don't blow an account in one night, please. Okay? Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow for Power Hour. Good night, everyone.